Hi, it's been a while. Sorry. My last video I made was 2 years ago. Sorry. I know that like my last video or a few videos that I made, I was like, I'll explain this, and all of these things, and as you can see, I didn't do that. But I'm here to do a little explanation of why that is. So sorry. I'm gonna do a little get ready with me here in my room. I have so much to update and so much to say, and my brain is just like scrambled because I haven't said anything in literal years. It's just like, So we're gonna get started. I'm going to do my makeup. I am sitting on my tatami mat. It's just the most comfortable thing and easiest thing for me. I'm gonna start with some concealer. But to start, I'm really happy to say I've been on the JET program now for 3 years. 3 years and 3 months. My like anniversary date is October 2nd, kind of 2nd or 4th. So it's been 3 years that I've been in Japan on the JET program, and like so much has happened. It's just like so crazy. I've traveled all over Japan. I climbed Mt Fuji, kind of. I didn't make it all the way to the top because the altitude sickness was actually killing me, but I made it to the like 8th station, so like only maybe an hour left to go, but I couldn't do it. My 2 friends that I was with, they really did so much to help me through that, and they went to the top because they weren't as affected by the altitude sickness like I was, so I stayed behind and I let them go, and I just kind of enjoyed the view. But one day I would like to maybe try again and maybe, I don't know, I gotta train for it though because it was no joke. My family came to Japan, my mom and my dad and my brother, which was so much fun. I got to take them all around Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, and even like where I live in Hyogo near Himeji, and see Himeji Castle. I'm not showing what I'm using, but this I got in Korea, and I absolutely love it. Has SPF. It's pretty thin. Korean stuff is so good. And right after my parents, my brother came to see me, I got a boyfriend. He is Japanese. In March of this year, 2025, we'll be together for 2 years, so kind of exciting, like really exciting actually. We actually this past summer, 2024, we went to back to America together. He met all of my family, all of my friends. It was one of my best friend's wedding that I stood up in. I was a bridesmaid, and he came with me for that and got to meet everybody. It was just genuinely like the best thing ever. It was so great. We had so much fun. I've met his family quite a few times because we're both in Japan, obviously. And it's been great. We met on Bumble, which is how I've met every guy that I like went on dates with in Japan. I met on Bumble because Tinder's kind of scary dating in Japan. I really don't recommend it. It's mostly just people looking to date foreigners, like just sleep with. I don't know, just concerning. And I don't love that. But I met my boyfriend and I on Bumble. It was so funny because on Bumble there's like actually on most dating apps there's like a travel mode. So my boyfriend lives in Nagoya, which I don't live in Nagoya. I live in Hyogo Prefecture, which where I live exactly is right in between Kobe and Himeji, so like right in the middle there. So it's like an hour away. And he just so happened to be on like travel mode. I'm using this loose powder from Maybelline. All the girlies, if you know, you know. He just happened to be on travel mode, and my like radius was only out until Osaka, like up around until Osaka. So most of the guys that I was meeting up with before were guys in Osaka, which is like Osaka guys can be, there's a bit of a reputation in a bad way, I guess, with those kind of guys. And I don't know why we swiped. I didn't read like where he was from. And then when we were messaging and he was like, I'm from Nagoya. Are you planning to go to Nagoya anytime soon? And I was like, no. Why would I go to Nagoya? There's fuck all to do there. Quite literally, it is like known to be a city that's like a passover or a drive-by city. Like, if you take the bullet train, Shinkansen, like, people are not stopping in Nagoya because it's not exactly, all they have there is like the Ghibli Museum or the park, one of them. So no, but we had our first date, yeah, almost 2 years ago in Osaka, and it was great. It was so great. He planned it all out, which I love a man who plans it out. This is the blush that I'm using. It's Japanese can make. I absolutely love this blush. Just dig in there. Yeah, we went to a restaurant where we had to catch our own fish. It's in Osaka. I highly recommend going. It's so much fun. There's fish in a giant tank, all kinds of fish, and you have to like catch them. And then when you catch one, like, you will pay for like the fish, but also like how you want it prepared. It can be like grilled, sashimi, boiled, like fried, so many different things. When we went there, we caught 3 fish. I caught 1, he caught 2, and we weren't even close. Like, they were huge, like this big, and we're like did not even close to eating any of them. Like, it was just like, oh, it was too much. But what was so cool is that he was like, oh, I'll just give them to like people around us. So I was like, that's so nice. Like, we're not gonna waste the food, right? He like reached out to like the people next to us, and he was like, hey, do you want this? And they were like, hey, like, really, is that okay? Like, we're not eating it because like there's no way we're gonna finish all of this fucking fish. So he gave it to like the people around us so like it wouldn't waste. Like, he paid for it still, and that was really cool. Yeah, so that was our first, like, where we went for dinner. First impressions though, I thought he was so cocky. I say this all the time. Like, I thought he was so cocky, and like at first he was just like, he just seemed too full of himself, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm not like really feeling that kind of energy. And because he's Japanese, like, we're speaking in English, but like, if you've dated in Japan as a woman, you know, there's like the guys that you go on dates with, primarily they'll start with like, we can do language exchange, we can like just, you know, you teach me English. And it's just like, okay, like, and so when we were at dinner, conversation was starting to be like that, and I was like, dude, I was just like ready to get out, because I was like, this is really fun, and like, thank you for paying, but I don't really want that kind of a thing. And his English was like, was fine. It was fine. I like had definitely met like guys who had better English ability, and I, at that point, no Japanese. I was planning to like, honestly, like, since my family, this is what is so crazy, since my family came to visit me, that was kind of my whole like, okay, I'll be in Japan until then, like, coronavirus is like over, kind of, and people, like, Japan is open again, so my family could come and like we could all like show them around and stuff like that. And I was like kind of ready to leave. I was like, I'm kind of done like with the jet program. Like 2-3 years is kind of normal. By the time my family came to see me, it was like a 1.5 year mark. So I was kind of ready to go. him kind of coming to me like, oh, I want you to like teach me English. I was like, I don't have the time or energy for like to be teaching you English. Like, what? I want someone to like me. And I like flat out said, I was like, you know, like, what else do you like about me? And like saying on looks or whatever, I'm like, you know, I don't really like what else? But then he said, I really love how you really, like, when we talked previously on like Bumble, he like was talking about how like, I really love how you want to travel and like do a bunch of stuff. Like, we both like scuba diving and like we both love activities like surfing. And I was like, okay, you have your chance. This is like an eyeshadow palette that I use every day. I got also in Korea. A lot of stuff I got in Korea. I've been to Korea twice at this point. As you can see, I use this one quite a lot. I also use this one, not as much, but from Etude. Also using the Naked 3 palette, of course. Anyway, yeah, so that was our dinner. And then after dinner, I fully expect, I'm like, great, he planned a fun dinner. And now is where the point where like I've gone on dates with the guys before. It's like, okay, we're gonna have dinner. And then now what? Usually at this point, it's like they have no plan after that. I was expecting that, and I was ready to him be like, ooh, let's go to like a love hotel or something. And I was ready to be like, fuck no, hell no, I just met you, like, no way, or something crazy like that. But no, he had a plan. So we went to a place called Rush, Beerush, and I don't know how else to describe it, but it's kind of like in America, like a Dave and Buster's, and Dave and Buster's like the adult Chuck E. Cheese, but it's like more adult. They have like a huge bar in the place. They have mostly like Japanese. They have like Mario Kart and some kind of trivia. Like staff would come out and like we did like a big like trivia game that I did not participate in. I just watched because it was all in Japanese, and I was like, it's too fast. I have no idea what's going on. But it was really, really fun. I'd never been there before. And then at that point, it was like, I'm not going home. Kind of like, I was expecting to be able to go back home. It takes me like an hour about to go from Osaka back to my place here by like, it's like 2 local trains and like the JR Special Rapid train. My last train was done. It was gone by then, so I'm like, okay, I'm staying out all night, I guess, or I'll like find a hotel, or like maybe he'll be nice enough to let me stay with him. So I was like, okay, what was it? It was like a Saturday night. I'm like, it's Saturday night. Let me take you to one of my favorite clubs here in Osaka, like Namba area. And we went to Ghost. If you know Ghost in Osaka, you know it's a really kind of a go-to club. A lot of people go to. Very fun. Have like the drink tickets and everything. We go there, have more drinks. It's very fun, good vibes. And then start making out, I guess. And then just we're like, okay, let's leave. Ready to leave. Get a little, this was so funny. He called a taxi to take us to like his hotel he's staying at. We got in the taxi, and the taxi driver put in like the address. He's like, oh, it's like around the corner. Like, I don't need to drive you there. So we got out of the taxi, got into the hotel. Everything was great. I put my bag down, but then I'm like, where's my phone? Rummaging through my jacket, through my bag, through everything. I was like, where is my phone? I was panicking. And then he's like, where was last time you left it? And I was like, I don't know. I think it like, I remember I had it, but then I was like, did I have it? So I was like really, really thinking. I was like, oh my God, is it at the club? Did I forget it there? Because at the club, we put like our jacket and bag in the lockers. So I'm like, did I leave? Was in a locker. So he calls the club and like asks like, did they find a phone? Described what it looked like. They said nothing. And I was like, oh my God, what do we do? They said nothing. However, I was like, let's just go anyway. So we left the hotel room and ran like back to the club, like to go check it out. And like, they were like, ooh, sorry, we have nothing. I literally was like, we were in the taxi for like 2 seconds. Why would it be in there? Did I drop it? We like retraced my steps. I'm like ready to cry because I'm like, that my phone, you guys, having your phone is so like important, like essential for checking the train times, going where you want to go, just like communicating with people. Again, like fucking little Japanese, like I can't remember, it just like my whole life is on there, like so many things. And like I just was panicking, and then he was like, okay, don't worry, I can fix this. I was like, how the fuck can you fix this, bro? I just met you, I'm panicking, I don't know you, I have no phone with a stranger. I was panicking, I was losing my mind. And he's like, I will get you a new phone in the morning. I was like, I just met you. That's very sweet and generous, but like, I don't want to owe you something. And he's like, don't worry, I can get it. And I was like, okay, buddy. Panicking. And thank God also when we went to like the Be Rush place, we were only talking to each other through Bumble and on Instagram. But thank God at Be Rush we exchanged Line, like our Line chat, the messenger. Japan, a lot of Asian countries use Line to talk to instead of like a texting or messenger in America. Thank God, because he could call my phone using Line, and he tried calling it a few times. I'm like rocking back and forth because I'm just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do without a new phone? Like, I can't afford this. Like, this is so crazy. This phone is pretty new because I got it right. I got a new phone finally right before I left for Japan, because the previous one I had was like an iPhone 7. But I was like, oh God, I can't afford this. Like, my jet program paycheck is not gonna pay for a new phone. He's like reassuring me, like, I will fix this. We will find it, or I will get you a new one tomorrow. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. You like, whatever, but dude, you seem confident in that. Like, that's super generous. Kind of calmed down, just kind of chilled, had a lovely time together, and went to bed. Kind of went to bed because I was still panicking and just like, I'm with a stranger, not like just super not able to relax properly. Finally, someone answers my phone, and guess who it is? The taxi driver! So the taxi driver like was done for the night, and he was cleaning his car, and he found and like couldn't unlock my phone because I have a passcode on it. But he called, and the taxi driver answered, and my now boyfriend, told us where we are, and the taxi driver, okay, I can bring it to you tomorrow morning. And that's what he did. We woke up the next day, got ready. The taxi driver came to the hotel and gave back my phone, fully charged, 100% like charged, nothing wrong with it, anything. And I was like, I love Japan. So yeah, and then we had my phone, left the hotel, and went for kind of brunch, and then went our separate ways. But that was our first date. Very, very eventful, and just not something that I could easily forget. We both laugh about it all the time because, of course. But yeah, we have been together for almost 2 years, and I'm like so happy. He is so great. I thought he was so cocky and like when I first met him, but he's just like really confident and like very fun, and like especially for like a Japanese guy, he's very not Japanese. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, he's really interested in like other cultures and countries and like exploring new places, and he's not afraid to like try new things, which like a lot of my Japanese friends and like even some of my coworkers and my own students are like afraid of just like leaving Japan. Even some of his own family members are just like, you know, they're into their little island of Japan and nothing else really matters. So yeah, he's really great. We're really happy. Yeah. Trying to think what else has happened. I've traveled all over Japan. If you follow me on Instagram, I have so many pictures and like highlights on my highlight area of so many places I've been. I've been to Hokkaido, I've been to Okinawa like a few times, I've gone scuba diving, I've climbed Mt Fuji, I've gone to like some really crazy like festivals, summer festivals, and so many crazy events. I performed with my school, like my calligraphy club, twice for our like yearly culture festival. A little color. So I guess I can probably say kind of the big news of why I want to start making videos again. I honestly, because I met my boyfriend, I'm gonna be staying in Japan. I don't know how else to really like say that. Like I said before, when my family came to see me, I was fully intent on like, okay, I'm kind of ready to leave Japan. I don't need to continue staying here. Like, I want to go back to America, start my career, and, you know, get a job, because, you know, being an English teacher is kind of, you know, one of the only things you can do in Japan, unless you get a really high score on the Japanese language proficiency test and like find another job in a real Japanese company. But like, we've all heard how bad Japanese companies are. They're pretty shit. So I don't know, I just like had no prospects of staying in Japan. All my friends were leaving. Not all my friends, but kind of a really hard thing about being an ALT or on the JET program is like people come and go every year. So you're having like your close connections and your close friends, and then they're gone, and then you have to meet a whole new group of people, and then they're gone, and you have to start all over. It's like really like the longer you stay, that's just kind of the cycle over and over again. And I say this all the time, but like, you have to have friends being an ALT in Japan. Like, you have to have people. It can be Japanese friends or coworkers, but like, you need people to do stuff and like rely on, because like being here by yourself, you are by yourself. So it gets really hard when I was like seeing a lot of some of the people that like I arrived with or got really close to leave, and I thought like, maybe it's my turn. Like, what else do I have going for me? But meeting my boyfriend and, you know, having the conversations that need to be had, we kind of are we've decided that like, I'm gonna stay in Japan. Another thing, my boyfriend is a doctor, so he went to school for a very long time. That's why he offered to like pay for my phone, because he can afford it. He has like his whole career here. It would be so unreasonable for me to be like, we have to go back to America. He has his whole career here and like all that other stuff, so it just makes sense to stay in Japan. Also with like the way America's going right now, not super great. I'm gonna do my eyeliner, so I need to like stop talking and focus for a sec. I might be crazy, but I use 3 different like eyeliner pens for different parts of my eye. So, because my boyfriend has a career here, as established career, not like nothing, we are going to stay here. And because of that, I'm going to be moving. Yep, I'm moving from my humble abode here in Hyogo, and I'm going to be moving to Nagoya with my boyfriend. We already have an apartment lined up. He's actually there now. He's all moved in. I like forced him to move in November of 2024. I was like, you have to move so that like all of your stuff is moved so that I can start sending my stuff. So he did, and over like winter break, I went to go to Nagoya. We went to IKEA and got all this IKEA furniture, and he's never like put IKEA furniture together, and I was like, this will be a great like bonding experience for us and some like character development for you since you've never done this before. So it was very funny and frustrating, and I thought I was going to kill him, but we did it. So have a whole new place set up. So I'm moving. I have a moving company coming to take out all of my stuff. So if you saw my very like first video of me here, it was my like apartment tour. All of the furniture that's here is gonna stay, but I've collected and bought so much shit of like my travels around Japan, so many clothes and knickknacks and like other things that I'm just like, I need help. So moving company is coming and I'm gonna film that. I have to do another like apartment tour, kind of just for me because I've lived here for 3 years and I haven't filmed anything. I'm just like, you know, when it just becomes like your day-to-day, you're just like, who cares? It's just my day-to-day. But I'm getting kind of sad almost that I'm leaving here. This is like my first home in Japan. And I didn't think that I was going to be this sad to say goodbye, since I remember when I first came here, I absolutely could not believe that this was the housing the JET program gives to people when they come as an ALT. I'm like, oh God, no one touched this for like a year. It was so moldy and dusty, and that's another conversation. But yes, I'm moving. So because I'm moving to a whole other prefecture, people are probably thinking, what are you going to do about your job? I am quitting. I'm resigning from the JET program. That's another topic that I'm going to save for later, which I actually am going to do. That is so for real. So that is what I want to get to. I keep always like was saying in the past, like, I'll film this, I'll do this and this and this. And that's why I'm doing this video now, is to say I am really, in 2025, I'm going to be like doing this. I'm going to be filming and actually like doing videos and actually making reels on Instagram properly. Like I've posted like all my pictures and like my stories all the time because I love taking pictures, but I have so much content from 3 years of living here, and it's just like just collecting in my Google Photos because, you know, I haven't really posted much. And here's why. Here's the makeup for today. Looks pretty good, I think. Looks a lot better than before. I'm gonna put a little like this really cute shine, also from Korea. Boop, boop, boop. So why I'm gonna be filming is because I am staying in Japan. All of this whole like preamble of talking about like how I met my boyfriend, like all this stuff I've done, is because to actually really hold myself accountable of like the reason why I was like filming initially was because I really thought in my brain, I was like, I'm gonna be another like Japan YouTuber where I'm going to film a bunch of videos of like my daily life in Japan and like studying Japanese and like every single thing I did and everything. I'm like, it's really exhausting to constantly be on, film, and like not be in the moment of things. And I didn't know how to like film stuff and not be in the moment. Like I just kind of want to enjoy my time in Japan. And another thing is, I know so many people, literally dozens and dozens of people who, like me, became an ALT on the JET program here, started doing content on whether like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, and they are like destroying their mental health to try to make content, and then they're leaving Japan. I don't know how to say this delicately, but like there's so many people who do like an English teaching program and they think like deep down like I'm gonna be the next abroad in Japan and like be able to do all of that, and then they have to leave. I didn't feel, since I was like pretty set on like I'm gonna leave eventually. This is what all the girlies use here, all my students use to like as a dry shampoo. There's really no dry shampoo here except by one specific brand, but it's like powder, kind of like baby powder for your hair. This is what actual Japanese girlies use. I'm becoming one of them. I was kind of in the mindset of like, why am I going to be killing myself and my mental health making all this content and videos when I'm not even going to stay here the whole time, and I'm going to go back to America and people are going to be like, where's your Japan content? That was my mindset personally. It could have also just been laziness, which I'm also thinking is attribution is also a reason. Forgot the word. English teacher here. But because I'm actually going to be in Japan, I want to really show like the craziness of my life, because I haven't really told that much about it, even on like Instagram. Like my friends know like deep down behind the scenes like what has been happening. Like there's so much. Like my boyfriend's family, his life and everything is like so crazy, and I have a lot to say. And just like being in Japan, I have a lot to say, and I want to talk about it, and I really want to do it, and I want this to hold me accountable, and like whoever watches this, if you do, hold me accountable, because like I really want to do this. Yeah, I want to make proper videos, kind of my own little video diaries kind of a thing of like my daily life, not just for like Japan content of like things to do in Japan, but like kind of just for me. So this is my little I'm coming back kind of video, which I am. I will. In the comments, love and support would be appreciated. And also any questions. Have so many video ideas like for moving into a new place in Japan, finding a partner in Japan, and leaving the JEP program. Oh my god. Finding a new job. A lot. Also, I'm going to just be making more like short form content, hopefully. No, I will, not hopefully, I will on Instagram, because I have so much shit. I have so much stuff to share. So that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you so much for listening and listening to my ramble. I hope my story was a little bit interesting, and hopefully you can be excited about like other things I have to say, because I have a lot I could talk. But yeah, I hope this wasn't too boring, and I hope that you can maybe look forward to more content from me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to do some Q&A at some point. I think that'd be really fun, and give me some more ideas for videos. But yeah, until my next video, that absolutely will be happening, I swear. See you, bye.